Michaela Nalen died in October after a 5-year-long battle with a rare form of bone cancer. She was just 16 years old. Weeks before her death, Nalen traveled to Washington, D.C. to advocate for the Give Kids a Chance Act. The legislation aims to expand access to life-saving therapies for children battling rare diseases. Congressman Michael McCaul sponsored the act, which is now named in Nalen's honor. I spoke with the congressman about the legislation and why he believes it will help save young lives. You're the author of this bill. Tell our viewers, what will it do?
It does several things. One, most importantly, it reauthorizes the Creating Hope Act, which provided a market incentive for pharmaceutical companies to basically create and provide drug therapies for childhood cancer. When I started the caucus 16 years ago, there's little attention paid to the children. It was all about the adults. We tried to change that, and the Creating Hope Act actually led to the FDA approval of Dr. Allison's CAR-T immunotherapy at MD Anderson, which is a major cancer breakthrough. And it was this bill that we're reauthorizing that created the FDA approval process through this voucher program. That has saved so many lives now, not only children, but adults as well. Secondly, the bill also provides that children can receive multiple drug therapies that adults now can receive. So we're putting children on the same level of adults when it comes to multiple drug therapies. These things together, I think, will save a lot of children's lives in the future. It's really rare up here to be able to pass a bill that saves kids' lives, and this is one of them. We named it after Michaela McCaul, who I met at our annual summit in September. I got her into a clinical trial at Texas Children's and MD Anderson. Unfortunately, she passed away 3 weeks after that. And so we had her parents in the gallery, a lot of cancer survivors, children in the audience. It was a very heartwarming occasion. And best of all, in a very partisan environment we're in right now in D.C., this was the most bipartisan bill passed by Congress during this Congress, with 313 co-sponsors, and it passed unanimously.
You've been working at this for close to 2 decades. You mentioned 16 years ago starting this caucus. From your experience, why is it that we don't have as many treatments for pediatric cancer cases?
So that's a great question. When I started looking at this almost 2 decades ago, we didn't pay a lot of attention to the children because they call them rare orphan diseases, which I thought was really insulting to these children. They're not orphans and they're not rare. The disease is more rare though, and that was the problem. There was no market incentive for the drug companies to develop childhood cancer therapies. So what this reauthorization bill does, the Creating Hope Act, through this market incentive that we created with an FDA voucher system, it does incentivize the drug companies to come forward and do clinical trials. And since the inception of that program, we've had over 60 vouchers issued, and about 40 childhood cancer therapies have come out since the initial passage of that bill. What we did is reauthorize it for 5 more years, given the success of the program, which, as I mentioned earlier, led really to the Nobel Prize for Medicine awarded to Dr. Allison at MD Anderson using this voucher program. And it was actually a childhood cancer study that he developed the CAR-T immunotherapy for.
So this bill, it reauthorizes this incentive program for another 5 years. This is going to be one of your last acts as a congressman. You're retiring after this session. It reauthorizes it for 5 years. Do you think in those 5 years we'll be in a better spot and be somewhere where you'll be happy with, where we are with treatments for pediatric cancers?
I do. I love the slogan at MD Anderson, "Making Cancer History." It may not be in my lifetime, but I hope it's in these children's lifetime. And I do think 5 more years. It's already been hugely successful. And I think 5 more years will really solidify this program, but also, most importantly, it'll save so many lives of children. You know, Michaela represents those who did not make it. The survivors have, and they still have many issues. Many of them were on the floor of the gallery. But, you know, it's the ones that didn't make it that breaks my heart. But I have a lot of hope that we're going to have a lot more survivors of cancer now moving forward in the future.
The Michaela Nalen Give Kids a Chance Act cleared the House in early December, but a push to get a vote in the Senate failed just before the holiday break. Supporters hope to press for passage again when lawmakers return in January. Lawmakers approved millions of dollars to help save the battleship Texas. Now we're getting an up-close look at the work.
Our goal is to make the ship as alive as possible, and as immersive as possible.
We take you on board the historic battleship to get a peek at the progress and a preview of what comes next.